All right. Hey, everybody. Sorry about the slight delay. Had a little problem with XSplit. Twitch wasn't agreeing that I was me. So, but I am honest. So we're here on Estel server, our French role-playing server, and we're going to do our shield run. We're going to run through Moria, out through the Dimmeril Dale, into Lothlorien, and up to the gates of Caras Galadhon. Hopefully, completing in the footsteps of the Fellowship deed between here and there. If we do that successfully, then this run qualifies as complete and finished, and the time will be recorded, and the best time across all 29 servers wins. What do you win? Mostly bragging rights, but you will also get the festival of your server's choice run for 1 week exclusively on your server, barring any festivals that are going on at that time. So that's basically the ground rules. They're pretty simple. I've got my group. I know who I'm going to follow. And I think we're ready. I'll just make sure they are. And I just want to also point out that we have a French translator in the chat. If you're not comfortable asking your question in English, you can type it into the chat in French, and she will translate it for me and send it back to me. And I will get it answered, and she'll translate it back the other way. So that will work. Fortunately, everybody in my group speaks English very, very, very well. So they've been very good about helping me with stuff. So we're going to get going right now. And we will see how we do on Estel server. Quick reminder for those that don't know, the fastest time so far is 21 minutes, 37 seconds. That's Winfola server. And we will go from there. And obviously, if you have any questions during the run, feel free to ask. I'll be checking out the chat mostly. I trust these people not to dump me off a cliff, which may be misguided and misplaced trust, but here's to hoping. And let's get ready to go. And follow and start. There we go, and we're off. I'm just going to quickly remind everyone that in the footsteps of the Fellowship deed has 7 parts. The first one actually triggers being in this area that we're in right now. The other 6 are find the Chamber of the Crossroads, find the 21st Hall, find the Chamber of Mazarbul, both sides of the now broken bridge of Khazad-dûm. Remember, it got broken when Gandalf fought the Balrog. And the first hall, which is actually the last hall, because we're technically coming through Moria via the back door. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. I'm going to drop my my interface here real quick. Even though that makes the deed go off, it does make for a little bit prettier picture. Remember, the timer does count until we get to the gates, not the steps of, not the area in front of, but the gates of Caras Galadhon. So we had a problem one time. Somebody stopped probably 30 feet away, and the timer kept ticking until we ran up to the gates. So hopefully we don't have that problem yet. There's very strange conversation about hedgehogs as I look over into the chat, and I'm really not sure why, and I'm almost afraid to ask. Aha, that makes a lot more sense. Now, I should point out, because someone made a comment about seeing Moria lit up like this, I do have my gamma settings a little bit higher, just to make this a little brighter and a little bit more interesting in general. So it's not quite so dark and oppressive. It's not usually quite this bright in here. It is a little bit brighter than we originally introduced the area, because some people complained it was too dark, so we lightened it up a little bit, and then I've actually lightened it up more with my gamma settings and brightness and contrast. So, does Extra Life have an ice cream vending machine? Uh, no, I'll actually be working from home with Extra Life. So the rest of these live streams for Shield runs after Thursday, because Thursday's Shield run this Thursday will be my last official run as a Turbine employee. So all the other ones will be done out of my home, which is where I'll be working from for Extra Life. So you'll get to see all the weird crap that's behind me at my house, and I should probably clean that this weekend now that I'm thinking about it. And we'll pop a quick look at the map here. About 3.5 minutes in. Excuse me. Now sometimes you'll see we come across this area of the map. Sometimes you'll see groups run all the way across this. So a little bit different from the last group here. Yes, Southern Belle. I will join everyone who commutes from one room to the next for their job. Actually, since my home office is the loft in the master bedroom, it'll actually just be a flight of stairs. Yes, as someone just pointed out in the chat, I appreciate that for the shield run this time, I was given a shield instead of my cheesy poof. Yeah, I will have to agree with Ara, who commented about how having Moria brightened up like this really shows off the artwork and the effort that the team put into designing the space, especially in some of the more interesting areas like this one as we're running through. When it's dark, it's really cool. It gives you that claustrophobic feeling that I think Moria should have, but it does hide an awful lot of this detail and an awful lot of the work that went into making it. Will I continue to stream LOTRO as a random player from my personal account on the Sapience _ Twitch channel? Yes, I will. I'll do LOTRO. I'll do maybe some other stuff. I'll do some Extra Life related stuff. I actually now, speaking of which, owe you guys a bonus stream because we passed 30,000 raised for Extra Life, and one of the goals was that if we did that, I'd do a pre-Extra Life marathon stream of about 5 hours or so, where we could all hang out, and I haven't decided what I'll play for that or when it'll be, but it'll probably be within the next couple of weeks. It'll be on a weekend, so everybody can hang out. Is this the loft that contains your gaming rig? Is that safe? Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. All right. Hang on just 1 second. We got a French question, so I'm going to check this out really quick. What do I think of the trailer for the Hobbit movie? For those that don't know, the Hobbit trailer was released yesterday. I liked it. I thought it was very cool. I have had a tremendous number of players just scream at me, "War goats!" So I did pass that feedback on. If War goats make it into the game, it will be because of all of the people who watched that trailer and said, Rick, you got to have war goats now. Look, it's okay. So I did pass the information on. We'll see what happens. But personally, I'm looking forward to the movie, yes. This is actually a really good question. For those that don't know, the timetable has changed because I won't be in the building anymore. I have some more flexibility. Starting with the runs that begin, I think, on August 5th. Yes. There'll be 2 a day. There'll be a European server in the morning and a U.S. server in the evening, or at least my time, early afternoon and evening. So 2:30 Eastern and 6 Eastern. That, for North American players, is 1 hour later than we had been doing them. If that's problematic, or I get a significant number of complaints about moving that hour up, I'll move it back very happily and gladly. I don't want to deny anybody the ability to participate or interact. So if that's problematic, then we'll definitely move it back to 5 p.m. Eastern. I just moved it up an hour because I knew a lot of folks were saying they couldn't participate at 5, but if it were an hour later, they could. So that's why I changed it. I have a Rohirrim beard. Yeah, I kind of trimmed it down a little bit. It was getting shaggy. Will the I see what the question is. Will the regions that were introduced as instances, the area war regions, be included in the future as full areas and not just the instances? Hard to say, but definitely not at the top of the list at this time. Yes, there are a large number of goats in today's stream. It's making me a little nervous. Goats tend to eat things. We're absolutely flying through this part of Moria. 9.5 minutes in, and things look actually really good right now. Grab the map and see where we're at. For reference, this is the bridge. So we got to come up to here, all the way around, up to here, and then out to the Dimmeril Dale. So someone is pointing out that they're glad that these streams last 30 to 60 minutes. That was actually one of the big complaints we had with the original Tahiti runs, was that they could go for more than 2 hours. And some people were finding that really hard to kind of participate in or block out that period of time, especially on a weeknight. In Europe, in particular, folks that wanted to participate regardless of when or where the stream was being held, just wanted to hang out and chat. They were staying up till 2 in the morning, if not later sometimes. And whoops, goat suicide. Just saw a goat shoot off the screen. So these being 30 to 60 minutes kind of makes it easier on everybody, makes it a little bit easier on me, makes it easier for me to do 2 a day starting next week, and obviously makes it easier for those in later time zones to still be able to participate. Oh yeah, good point. Let's see where we're at. So suddenly, so it would appear that we have remapped somewhat inadvertently. There we go. A little bit of a freak out. Yep. They just have 2 more pieces of the deed left. They are on point. Oh, and to go back to the Hobbit movie just for a second, I really, really liked the poster. I don't know if anyone's seen the poster yet, but it was very, very cool. With Bilbo kneeling with Sting. Very neat. Yeah, they got it. There was some question over whether or not they actually triggered the other side of the bridge, which they did. So we'll hide that again. A comment about beard-eating goats and hanging out with another community manager. community manager named Brass. She raises goats. And yes, I did notice they used the Billy Boyd song from Return of the King in the trailer, which I thought was kind of cool. I thought it fit the mood. Yep, I agree with the chat. They really do seem to have a pretty solid grasp on exactly where all the trigger points are. They don't go too far. They don't waste time circling around to try and get them to kick in. And I think that's why we're seeing a pretty quick time overall here. And I've got a few buffs on me that are helping, from the looks of things. Alright, first hall, which we're coming up to here, up these stairs. Yeah, I confess, that song from Return of the King does actually kind of get me too. Sort of have to, you know, make sure that the air is not especially dry and there's not a lot of dust or sand, you know. Right, 14, almost 15. And we're through and out. And back on follow. Right at 15 even as we come out and reset. So in pretty good shape for those that don't know or haven't been through this area yet. Moria, Mirror, Dimral Dale, all the way down to Caras Galadhon and the gate, just right around here. Right there. And let's see. Doing all right. Man, there are a lot of goats today. Usually I remind people that that mounts and cloaks have a detrimental effect on frame rates because they do, and some lag. But one thing I've noticed with the shield runs, because they're level 50 and up, they naturally attract a smaller group, which helps a great deal in terms of rendering and addressing lag. So you don't have the multiple hundreds that we would have during Tahiti runs, because you have to be level 47-ish to get into Moria, I think. Whereas Tahiti, you only had to be level 10. Silmarillion games or movies. That's going to take an awful lot of convincing with Christopher Tolkien. I would be surprised if any of that came to pass. Let's take a look. And per request, I'll drop this in. There we go. And some new folks joining, so hello to all the new folks. Very lame sandbox joke. Does Sapience own all token rights? I don't know the extent of the rights. I do know that it specifically refers to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and the entertainment rights to them. So they couldn't make another book, I don't think. But everything else, Silmarillion, Book of Lost Tales, is all still retained by the family and not Middle-earth Enterprises. So things that they don't have, you won't see, which is why I said Silmarillion's very, very long odds. And we're coming up to the gates here in a little bit. They crossed over at the earlier path. There's two ways you can cross over, two places you can go. Silmarillion film about as likely as Sapience getting a tattoo of Shelob on his hiney. Yeah, there's actually probably slightly better odds of the Silmarillion film. We're getting close here. Coming up on the 20-minute mark. So they're about 90 seconds away right now from the fastest time, 21:37. And this is going to be close. This may be a new first place. We've got a little ways to go yet, but they've got a minute and change to do it. Let's see. They've got a minute. This should be in the bag, barring any major issues, like suddenly pitching me off this bridge. So we'll see where we're at here. And getting there. And right. 20 minutes, 50 seconds. New number one time. Wow. By almost a whole minute. That was impressive. I have to write this down very quickly, or I will forget it, because that's how my brain sometimes works. 20 minutes, 50 seconds. That is very impressive, guys. Nearly a full minute faster than what I thought was, honestly, kind of an unbeatable time. But that is outstanding. You guys really knocked it out of the park with this. This is such a fast time. All right, let's get a screenshot or two here. There we go. We'll make sure we post that up. So Estel server takes over first place. Very well done. Vive la France. Very, very well done, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably the best French you'll get out of me in the next 10 years. All right. And I just want to give credit where credit is due. I want everyone to know that this little hobbit is the one that pulled it off. Esmeralda did a fantastic job of leading and really putting up a good time. Obviously, it was a group effort with all the buffs and everything else. She did a very, very good job. at one point I had to say that it felt like one of the fastest runs that I'd done, and obviously the time proves it. So this is absolutely excellent, and Emeralda deserves very high praise for her leadership. That was very, very good. Never even really came close to getting thrown off anything or knocked about too much. So very good. Yeah, very good point. They also did a really good job of staying out of combat, or at least preventing me from ending up in combat situations. And in fact, just to give you an idea, there's very, very little here. In fact, there's almost nothing. No, there is nothing. There's nothing that wasn't here when I started. And I do have always loot all on. So if they had been fighting in my group, I would have gotten some measure of the treasure. And as you can see, I have nothing. So exceptional job of keeping that out. That does have a lot to do with the time. So well done. I'll hang out here for a second. Someone's reminding me to do Hobbit presents, so we'll do them. And we'll open silver. Make everyone mad when I get... Oh, good. I could use some relics. And gold. And a little bit of money. I just missed. Look at that. Right there. Just missed. All right. So since this is one of my last days, can you at least reveal which server you mostly play on as a prize for Estel doing so well? I tell you what, Thursday, which is last stream, July 31st, during that stream, I'll tell you guys what server my main characters are on. How's that? That's a reason to tune in. So that'll be my last official stream, and everything after that will be just me. So I'll tell you where my main characters are, characters that I'll actually end up going back to, probably, and getting them back and leveled up, since I kind of skipped around a bunch of servers afterwards. But I won't tell you the character names, just a server. Obviously, it's a former North American server. Yep, there you go, Thursday. Keep your ears open. I don't think I have... hey, look, I have fireworks too. I'll shoot some off. There we go. All right. Lobelia, the secret turbine server. Actually, we don't have a secret server. We have internal test servers, but there isn't a server that just employees play on. So I am going to thank everybody once again, and go ahead and log out. I've got some stuff to take care of, including one of my last acts for the Player Council is to sort out which members of the Players Council to invite to Turbine in a couple of months. So I'm going to be doing that and getting that all set up for Freelorn so that he can get them in here and everyone can meet the team, or at least those members who come. I actually have a member of the council who will be here tomorrow on business. So, and he'll be coming in for a quick tour in the morning. Alright, so once again, congratulations to Estel server, 20 minutes, 51 seconds, new #1 time. Outstanding, folks. Very, very well done. And in fact, I just want to grab one more screenshot here of everybody that's there. Well done. Everybody enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening. And we will see you on Thursday at 5 p.m., I believe. Nope. Thursday is actually on Guajer's server at 2:30 p.m. So we have a German server on Thursday, July 31st. So we will see everybody then. Have a great one.